massive hit. Oh, they've clipped. Off. How he held on to that, I don't know. This is the biggest crash in RGL history. He's out of control and into the wall. Brace yourselves, this is going to be action-packed. Hello and welcome to the 2013 RGL Forza Championships. We have the Development Series Round 2 to kickstart this weekend of action. And this time round we are bringing out the good old Datsun 510. So as mentioned before, the Development Series is progressing through the PI classes. First up we had in F class the Nissan Leaf, now we have the 1970 Datsun 510. So this is Class E. The original PI was 120. The drivers had the ability to upgrade the car however they wished, up to the maximum PI of 275 while maintaining a single turbocharger and keeping the vehicle in rear wheel drive. So that is the car. You're going to see some very different styles from what we looked at in practice and qualifying. A lot of drivers either opting for full-blown handling or speed along the Sedona Raceway Park Club circuit. And it's very interesting because there are a lot of sweeping bends and only a few tight spots, which should suggest that overall speed will win the day so long as you've got the ability to handle the car around the track. Being at a lower class, you would think that's not too hard, but these guys really bring some smashing times, as you'll see right here as we look at the qualifying. And Twistie Corners once again right up the front there with pole position of 1:23.847. I challenge anybody to beat that with one of these vehicles. And the next closest was F34 Fear Bretley, I should say, pronouncing his game tag probably over a second slower, so a big gap there. They are capable of producing quicker laps. Looking at the back end of the field, defending champ Catters in P9 and Pistol Fit for No Motorsport staying out of row 5 with him. And to round it out is Relentless Queensland Run Runner. We have had quite a few casualties here. Scavenger not being able to make it. Gundam 27 wasn't able to make his debut, hopefully next round, and a few others, but the show must go on, and let's get this race underway. Lights are on, and there go. Everybody off to a pretty quick start, no stalling on the grid. A little bit of a jump out to the right there by Catters, and look at this field flow through with the Datsun 510, an awesome little beast. And into the hairpin for the first turn. Everybody getting through very cleanly, a couple of double files and going through the next bit, which is a couple of right and left hander before they start heading up the hill. And at the moment it is actually Bretley that's got the jump on Twistie Corners and got a little bit of margin there, and it looks to be no recoil. Coming in third in the Twistie Motorsport Datsun. Down the hill they come. And then we've got the big left-hand sweeper here, which is where a lot of the drivers tend to lose a bit of time if you don't enter it properly, and they've all sort of gone a little bit wide. But Fear Racing is leading the charge here, and I believe that's Jake. Oh, he's lost it a little bit there. Twistie's alongside. Can he make the pass stick? He's got the inside line going to this next turn, and Twistie's giving him a little bit of leeway, so that's very good sportsmanship there. Two cars definitely don't go through this next section of track. And Jake Mo coming up alongside, I believe that was, I think he's lost a spot there to somebody. See when they go through. But Fear Bretley has managed to lead them through the first lap. We have got 11 laps for this race, and there you goes. You can see there, first fastest lap. No surprises there. On board with Twistie Corners now, and he's got no recoil behind him. and he's chasing Bretley ahead in first position, going up the hill here. So these guys have really gone at it all out speed based on their how fast they go through this back section. It's a very long sort of straight with a few slight bends, but I think what's prevailed here is while handling a full-blown handle. Oh, Bretley just going a bit wide there, but no real loss of time. While the handling is proven to produce quick laps, track position is what counts in racing, and at the moment the faster your car can go, the better off you are to get that track position. And Twistie Corners ranging right up on the back of him here now. Now these two have sort of separated themselves from the rest of the field, and this is the tricky section, and it looks like Bretley cut that corner. Now the stewards will be watching that. That one is one that will get warnings and penalties if they cut that that slight right-hander. And Twistie straight in the pits, very early stop, strategic move, and it looks like Jake Mo's dropped back a little bit there. He was up behind the field, and Bretley posts another fastest lap, a 1:24.746. So he's already well and truly beaten his qualifying time. And and a little bit wide for one of the APRT Queensland drivers. Not sure who that one was. As the field files through side by side, I think this is Catters trying to make a pass on Pistol Fit for Nerd Motorsport, and they're not doing too bad in the constructors title. We've got to replay, so this might explain what's happened. Jake Mo, I mean. And there he is. He's hit that bog spot. Now that's the area of the track that the stewards will be watching for corner cutting. So he's just dropped a bunch of spots. And this is Pistol Fit, right? Oh, he's got, not sure which way to go. Jake Mo's going for the pit lane. So Pistol lost a little bit of momentum and time there. And back on board now with no recall for Twistie Motorsports. Number 25 car, yet again another quality paint job. We'll just check out where the hell all these drivers are at. There's a few people going off and pit stops galore. So Recoil leading the way now. Bretley's obviously heading into pit lane, and you've got your Watchin and Highboy, Alcimo, Pistol Fit, Go Hard moving up into 7th, and Catters in the top 8. And that is followed by Relentless and Queensland Rum Runner in 9th and 10th, and Twistie Corners, Jake Mo have pitted. Bretley will cycle through to the back of the field there after making his pit stop, as we check out the Nerd Motorsport Datsun 510. Again, they've managed to opt for a very easy to do livery that can be applied just about to every single car in the DBS in the Development Series, and it also mirrors their V8 supercar design. And as I was saying, the Twistie Motorsport vehicle always got a very striking, simple yet effective liveries on the vehicles. When I say simple, there's not a whole mash of shapes in that. It's a very slimline design that is very effective. Obviously a lot of work still goes into it, as many of the livery artists of the Forza world would know. So coming around to complete lap 4 of the race. Oh, he's just about hit that bog spot there, cutting through that corner. And Highboy in the background, he got stuck. He's also got stuck, so he's just lost a bunch of time as well. And now you're watching. He's gained a lot of time here, and he's starting to put the pressure on Recoil. And looking for that pass. He's put in some very good, tight, quick laps over the last 3 to catch up with No Recoil, that did have a bit of a buffer on him. And we're almost at the point of the halfway mark of the race. Still quite a few drivers yet to pit. Oh, and they're very deep there by Recoil, and that's just going to help you watching even more. That would have unsettled the car trying to get it turned into this right-hander. and you're watching right on the inside now, right on his bumper. He's got some good drive out of there, probably not quite enough to make a pass here, so you'll follow him through. We're just on board with you watching now, and just heading through this section. This is the bit where all the drivers want to push as fast as they can, but they just don't want to go wide on the right hand side. You will hit a bog spot and your car will get stuck. So you're watching opting to stay out with Recoil at the moment, obviously posting some pretty good competitive times. So they're sort of pushing each other along here at the moment. Some great racing. Once again, the RGL Forza Championships produces battles within the race. And Twistie Corners back on track, has set the fastest lap at 24,200, so nearing the 123s again like he did in qualifying. He's amazingly fast. I think the quickest lap times are getting in Tier 2, the 125, 126s at best, ranging right up to the 130s. Shows there's still a big jump between the best in Tier 2 and some of the best here in Tier 1. And you're watching, taking the title line there, and this is where he tends to make most of his gains. And look at that, just right towards the back there, so of Recoil. So he's obviously got a very well balanced car, that good with speed, but also seems to really manage the road very well handling wise. Notice it's still got the I think the traditional rims on the vehicle there. Most of the others have opted for a bit of bling on their cars. And once again they stay out, these two, so it's an epic battle we've got here. Yorchin hasn't really got himself in a position yet to make a decent go of a pass. And we'll just check where everything's at now. So as we're following the current leaders, we have Recoil, and you're watching Highboy's in the pit, or pitted. Relentless is still out, so he's moving right up the field at the moment, up 8 spots, but once he pits he'll drop right back. And then once the field is cleansed with the pit stops, Twistie Corners and Bretley and Alsamo and Jake Mo will sort of start to move up a little bit there. Perhaps not Jake Mo so much, as he has had that mistake at the start where he dropped a few spots. We'll wait and see how it all turns out at the end. We've only got a few laps left. We're just about to approach lap 8 of 11. And you're watching still pressure in Recoil. They're getting very close to the time where they're really going to have to think about pitting. And at the moment I do wonder, it looks like Yorchin might be making a move for the pit lane. No, it's Recoil that's made the move. So Recoil into pit lane now. You're watching, about to say, didn't seem to be getting held up overly much, but time will tell once they both complete their pit stops, see how those two come out. And just back on board towards the back end of the pack here, we have Catters, who very aware has got a full-blown handling setup in his vehicle, so not very gutsy down the straights, but very effective through all the turns, especially that tight little hairpin around the rock before heading back along this stretch of road. He's currently in between, or just ahead of, the APRT Queensland boys, but it's Go Hard that's really been making moves. He's getting there. Here we go, he's going for a pass now on the inside, and he's managed to do that cleanly. Catters has given him enough room to get through, but has he got enough grip to get out of the corner fast enough? And it doesn't look like it, and that's where the handling's paid off a little bit for Catters. He's obviously managed to get a good exit out of that corner. And now look at this, just well and truly blitzing the screwdriver's Datsun along this section of track, and he's just looking for a way past, and not really a good spot to really go side by side due to these slight turns. Otherwise I think Go Hard would have had him here. So it's all about Go Hard getting some good control over the vehicle. Oh, Queensland Rum Runner sneaking in on his partner here. So he's Rum Runner coming back from a few car lengths has managed to get all the momentum he needed. Meanwhile Gohard was losing. Oh, Queensland Rum Runner off the track. Gohard moves back in front. Yeah, Gohard lost a lot of momentum with Catters there, and now you're watching exiting the pit lane. Now we're looking for Fear Bretley. No recoil. And Twistie and Fear Bretley go through, and there goes recoil there. So you're watching, obviously didn't quite have the in and out laps that he was hoping for. And that is Relentless at the moment, yet to pit. He's out of sync with the rest of the field currently, and we're just jumping back on board with the race leader, Twistie Corners, who managed to jump Bretley by a fair bit. And look at the gap he's got at the moment. Managed to jump by a fair bit during their pit stop, so Bretley's obviously had a couple of bad laps in that area, while Twistie's just gone from strength to strength. Got a very finely tuned vehicle here with the APRT Datsun, and this will be an epic start to the season for both him and his team. Now going around the corner, you're watching coming up onto Relentless here. Hopefully Relentless will actually jump in the pit lane now, because he's effectively a back marker. Yet to pit. These guys have already caught up to him. He's obviously not handling these Datsuns too well. Normally a very fast driver, probably hasn't had enough time to really practice them. And I believe that's Alcimo starting to make some gains. And there goes Relentless into pit lane. And your watching's now got the task of chasing down recoil once again. So not a massive gap between all four drivers here. It's just about a second to 2 seconds between each driver. Meanwhile, Twistie's about 4 to 5 seconds ahead on the road. And we've only got one more lap to go after this. And provided there's no disasters, Twistie Corners should make 2 wins from 2 races for the DVS series. And it looks like Bretley's got his second place under control at the moment. Word is he will be getting penalised for excessive corner cutting on that chicane section that these guys are about to approach, that was mentioned earlier. So just through here, and that's recoil going over that section in question. So now going back again to check out the back end of the field here, and Catters managed to remain ahead of Gohard at the moment. And Twistie got a new fastest lap, 1:24.152, so edging ever so close to the 1:23s. I don't know whether he'll be able to get that magic number before the end of the race. And now look at this. It just shows a difference in speed. Gohard has got the move done and dusted before they even get to the first turn, and Rum Runner is gained all that time right onto the back of Catters there. And now Gohard's managed to stay ahead of him, and now he should start to pull away from Catters as they head up the hill with the superior speed. And this is where Catters just wishing he had that bit more grunt. And there you got Rum Runner on the back of him there. Just missed his cue for that corner. And now Gohard can, if maintain control of his car, will cruise through and finish ahead of Catters on this final lap. I believe that's Relentless that's managed to catch up to Rum Runner pretty quickly. And now just back on board with Twistie Corners as he crosses the finish line. Massive effort there, and look at that, a 1:23.991 to finish it off. Huge effort by Twistie Corners. That's 2 wins from 2 races. Congratulations. And he's putting himself firmly at the top of the leaderboard. so we can see the results. Not a massive time difference from first through to last. Obviously missing 4 drivers from the series at the moment. And Elsimo finishing in 5th. Recall takes the final place on the podium. Let's just check out the standings now. This is with all penalties calculated. And Twistie Corners and Watchin still lead the way. Watchin's got a 30-point margin on 3rd place Fia Bretley. Elsimo moving up in the charts after a poor start to the series, and Kata's just dropping back a little bit and going right down to the bottom there, and Ninja, who was one of the other ones that missed out along with Scavenger. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you for round 3 of the development series, and stay tuned soon for the V8 Supercars round 2 from Infineon Raceway. Thank you for watching.